Maybe you circle your ankles right there. Not pushing anything into pain, just a little bit of tension. Both hips go up. Bring that chest toward the floor. Nice downward dog. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, push into plank. And then bring your knees all the way down. Keep your chest up. And there's your nice little up dog. Let's look over this right shoulder. Feel that rotation. You should see down the back of that right leg. And we want to be aware of our position in our hands. We've been in this prone position a while, so if your wrists are bothering you, rotate the other way. We'll get off of those in a second here. We'll push back into child's pose and take a break on those wrists. Bring it to the center. Pull those abs in tight. Push back. Here's our first child's pose. Set that weight back on your heels, and then just rotate your palms so they're up to the ceiling. That's going to take that tension off of that wrist that was flexed. And just relax. Feel that stretch across your shoulder blades. You've been working what we call articulation in that spine, and then in the retracted, protracted area of your scapula, that movement in and out. That works those rhomboids, which are right down that center, coming toward your spine. You want to feel that stretching right here. And we're going to do one round of abs before we do all of this repeated on the other leg. So elbows are parallel. They're probably in shoulder distance. You're going to come forward, walk those hands to the top of your mat, keep the wrists just neutral or relaxed, and come into this plank. So our first elbow plank here is very square. We would say we are in railroad tracks. So your thumbs are up, your head is in between your thumbs, and that goes straight back to your elbows. You're looking down in between your elbows. Take it to the knees if you must. Pull that ab wall in tight. Think relax in your upper body and your head, neck, and shoulders, and keep that tension right down that middle. Any work that's happening that doesn't feel more than, or feels more than abs, or doesn't feel right on the back, you just take that weight down into the knees and you're going to relax that section of your back. So much of this has to do with your leg length, torso length, how we carry our weight, and then your overall strength. If you're shaky here, that's okay. You're building strength. Let those muscles respond to this. Take one more big deep inhale. And set those knees down gently. Exhale, press it back. Sit back into your child's pose. And then we're going to bring all this around and repeat this with the right leg coming forward this time. So when you're here, sit back in that stretch. See if you can do little small shoulder rolls. While your wrists are down on that ground, you're kind of rolling your shoulders forward and back, taking that tension out of your low back. And your hands just got a little bit of a break right there, so less flexion on those wrists. We're going through that range one more time. So take a nice big inhale, spread your fingertips out, push your weight forward, turn those toes under, come up, downward dog. A little bit deeper this time. Take that big inhale, turn that tailbone toward the ceiling, reach that chest toward the floor. And as we look forward, you're gonna bring that right leg way forward. So you're into that low lunge. So there we are in that low lunge, nice. And if it takes you a few steps to get there, that's totally fine. Hands are kind of straddling at that ankle level. And all we do here is we push forward. So I bend that right leg, push back. And basically my left heel is reaching to the floor, and then I get to my toes. Push back to the floor. And then I just coordinate that. Bend that right leg. Straighten that right leg, and then just move with your breath. Inhale, exhale, stretch it out. Inhale when you're kind of giving that break. Exhale when you're stretching, heel to the floor. That hamstring on that front thigh is where you're kind of working it there, and that's where we're typically tight, which will then transfer right into your back. Stretch it back. And bring it back forward. And let's take that right hand, bring it to the inside of that foot. So both of your hands are on the inside of that right leg. Now straighten it back. And then you're gonna walk that left hand back toward your left foot. And then you're down the mat this way. This time your right leg is toward the front, and you may be able to go a little bit wider. You held that position here last time for a little bit of time. So you may have gained some length in that inner thigh. If your hands are wider, you're gonna have a deeper range. I'm gonna be able to bring my chest closer to the floor. I'm gonna be able to arch up nice and high. So get to a place where you feel comfortable. And then that cat and cow, your hips may actually tip forward a little bit. And then that back flattens out, shoulder blades come together, the tailbone goes back. So each time you kind of get here, you want to be thinking lengthen. Can I widen those feet out? Am I using the full length of my mat? And then what range am I getting in those shoulders? And once you find you've hit that max range, I want you to then take that right shoulder, push it into the middle, and then look up and over that left, and then you'll feel that right inner thigh. Nice, a supported twist here. And then you inhale, come the other way. Look up and over that front leg, over your right leg, over your right shoulder. Feel that inside of your left leg lengthening. So there's plenty of modifications to this. If you just don't like that depth, don't go that far. Hands can be closer up underneath you. You can just hold that position down. Your mat is a great placement for you to kind of use like the four corners or the walls of it. Bring it to the center. And then let's walk those hands back around. Now you're more in that stretched kind of split stance. Keep that right leg forward. Left leg is long, and you're going to push those hips back and straighten out that front leg. There's a nice split stance. So you're stretching hamstrings into that upper back. And you breathe. Just remember to breathe on your own kind of accord here, not forcing it. Where it makes sense to exhale when you might be a little challenged, inhale when you're more relaxed. So you bend that right leg. Let's bring the right leg back and let's hold this plank. Now, you're up on this plank. You're going to take the left foot. You're going to tap it up and over your right side. Come back to the center. Left leg up and over. So now you're going over that leg, tap back. I'm just looking at my foot touch behind my mat. It comes back to the center. Lift up that right leg, tap up and over the left, come back center. Now we haven't done this, so these are alternating toe touches up and over. So find that position. You could do this on your elbows, which actually gets you a little bit lower and a little harder on the core. Nice, just take your time. Your head should stay forward and you just see that toe. If you want to get it more of a lift, and if you want more range, you tap it way off to that side. Go 8. I know this is a little bit of shoulder work. I kind of promised you some shoulder work today. 7, 6, and you're breathing. Exhale, tap. So it's a little bit more work. If you don't want the work, just put it into the stretch and just don't do as many reps. 3 and 2 and last one. Bring those knees to the center and sit back nice and long. Sit back through that child's pose. Relax. Big inhale right there. Circle those wrists. And you're off of that position. So your hands can kind of relax here. We'll do a set of the abs from this position as well. And then give your back a whole different sense of position to work against gravity and work with your abs. So let's bring our bodies forward. And you're going to bring those legs around. So we'll do some floor work here. Hips, hamstrings, back, engaging this core. Let's keep those feet right to the top of your mat, keeping them together. Knees kind of kept together, and your hands are right by your knees here. So just as we did the cat and cow in that prone position, now you're supine. You're sitting up or face up. You're going to allow your back to roll like I'm in that arching cat, and then I come forward into that cow position, sway back, but I'm doing it seated, right? So I round out cat position, arching, shoulders come forward. I feel that stretch all through my neck. Sit up nice and tall, pressing your shoulders back and chest forward. And then I round out. If I keep my hands on my knees, I'm going to get that little pressure here. I can tell how far that range is. So push that chest through those arms, squeeze and kind of back with those elbows, and then round it out. Now, this is really more for your upper body, but because you're moving from that waistband to your ribs, you're gonna start engaging those abs. So when you do this one, round it out right here. It wouldn't be perfect posture by any means. You're kind of scooped out. You're gonna release your hands. Oh, hi, nice downward dog. Hands are gonna go up, and you're going to then lift your feet up off the floor, and there's your balance. So if you're having issues with the balance, you can keep it here. You can hang on to those legs. You can bring your arms back. You can bring them up. So I just want you holding. The key with this, tight to the core, tight to the legs. This is gonna help you. So you're finding some stability off of your tailbone, and it works within that cat-cow shoulder position. So you're rounded out here. 4, 3, 2. You're gonna take that right heel down, left leg is up, left hand to the floor. You reach, lay down. Reach and touch, lay down. So there's a point where you feel like, wow, I'm laying down. That is not really relief. You realize that you've loaded the tension and then you overcome that tension. So lay it down, keep that left hand on the floor, right heel on the floor, and then those two parts come together up at the top. You're basically floating that left leg. That's kind of an anchor, and that's your target for that right hand to come up and across. You lay down, exhale, reach. I'm pushing into this right heel, which feels like it's giving me some strength. Yes, it's very tight. It's an isolated little movement. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you lower down. Go 7 and 6. I promise this is good for your back by engaging the abs. You're gonna build that core wall strength. Yes, 2 more. And then I want you to grab behind your knees, but you're still tight, a little bit of relief, but now I'm holding on here. I'm kind of making myself a smaller ball version of the ball. Tuck it in right here. If you have, and you're on carpet, or if this is comfortable for your back, you're gonna roll and then come back up without touching the feet or your head to the floor. So you roll through your spine gracefully, come back up and stop before you hit the floor. Inhale back, exhale, come up. Nice. That rolling like a ball is really a Pilates move, but it takes a lot of control. And if you find that it's just real easy, then I challenge you to get rid of your hands and just move with that control. Inhale back to kind of the top, right where you're arching in your back. I sit up, I exhale, squeeze everything together and keep those feet floating. Graceful is what you're looking for here. Yeah, there's something with momentum that mentally feels like, oh, this isn't so hard. And then you realize, yeah, that control takes power. Yeah, you've got this. Give me your best 4. Now, if you really want to challenge yourself, you make it longer and you keep it into that V where you stop at the V. Good. You know your limits. If you're a tiny little ball, you roll quicker, but it takes control. Longer levers is just more resistance. 2, give me 1 more. Inhale, exhale up and squeeze. Take the feet all the way down and let's bring it forward. Stretch it over, right over the top. Now this is right back into that back. Relax. Head goes toward your thighs. And just relax. So that should feel good. There's a part about massaging your back, as long as you're comfortable and it's on carpet or something soft and that doesn't hurt. Every one of our little spiny processes is, depends on how much is protruding or how much padding you have on them. If it's not comfortable, you've got options. You don't have to roll that full capacity. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, relax. And I did not forget that we have the other side to do. So this time, bring those knees back. Now, if you want to make it harder, you're gonna take those legs out a little bit further. You can float both of the legs. If you still need to hang on, that's fine. Let's do this scooped out position. So you're rounding in that cat. Your back is rounded toward the back and you're not hanging on. If you want a level 2, you're hanging on if you need that help. Level 3 is you stretch it out. So this is a kind of a boat pose in Pilates. The goal is to have your weight off of your center. So your hips and pelvis, you're off of that toward the back. So whatever that means to you, I'm just not sitting on my, bony sit bones. I'm off of them. Feel that core engage and you've got control here. So relax the shoulders.
And we just hold it. So if you need to modify, feet down, arms here, that's fine. One leg is fine, holding. 5, 4. Just when we change it, your mind thinks we're going to rest and not so much. This time, which hand's going down? Right hand goes down, left foot goes down, and we reach, touch the right foot this time. Left hand, right foot. Lay down, exhale. Yes, there's a sense of lengthening, but it has tension. You come up and cross all through that middle. Very, very good. You exhale, reach. This is not meant to be easy, so if you're making it feel smooth and you're agile, that takes work. And if it's not agile or graceful and it looks sloppy or feels sloppy, that's okay. Those are your muscles trying to get this. So I give you time to perfect this. And exhale, reach. And reach. Give me your best 10, 9. Don't worry about my count. If you're going slower or faster, that's totally fine. Just breathe through yours. I really just want more of the breathing part of this when I'm telling you the numbers. Give me 3 more breaths. That might be more reps than 3. And inhale, exhale, and last one. This time you lay all the way down, arms over your head and stretch it out. Oh, wow. Got my guest here. And your arms are over your head. Let's point those toes out. Circle those ankles. Your whole body relaxes right here. So take that big long stretch. And if your back is arching away from the floor, that's just going to assist the stretch down the front of your body. So this is good. Your back gets all of that extension, flexion, and we've got some rotation. As we did in the plank with the crossover, we're going to do the same thing as we lay here on our back. So bring your arms out into a T. You're going to lift up your right leg, tap it over your left. Now, your goal is to keep your chest up to the ceiling, and hopefully that foot can tap. And that's going to do the exact opposite of the plank that we did. So let this stretch out. I can feel that tightness right above that hip, and then probably out into that chest and shoulder. Come back to the center, and other side. Lift up left, cross over the dog, and come back. Feel that stretching. So take a few reps of these to find your target. And hopefully your head, neck, and shoulders stays level and you let that leg move. You are not helping me at all. Yeah, you might need to move here, little lady. Come on, Lucy. Go the other way. And if you're really tight on one side, that that's just telling you maybe you compensate, maybe you work that side more, up and over. There we go. A lot of times you'll find yourself holding your breath. If you feel that tension, we kind of get tight and hold. Be aware of that and breathe through it. So as soon as I feel this, I kind of want to protect my back. I find myself holding my breath. So breathe through that. Get to that tension. Take a deep breath. There's a lot to think about, from my hand through my shoulder to my chest, and then what happens in the torso down into my hip, all the way down to that toe. You gotta let your mind touch each one of those visual points and say stretch. And even the leg that I'm laying on, I'm finding that has some tension in it. So this takes a few. So try to just be relaxed. If you're moving fluidly through this, great, more power to you. In through the nose, you breathe. Exhale as you move and twist. Twisting is one of the really good mobility things for back. A lot of issues come from twisting with weight, which we do in a day many times. You got to stretch and make that strong. And this is all coordinating with your abs. So let's come back to our back. Put your feet flat on that floor, and I'll show you kind of from this side. We're going to go into a bridge. So you're going to push your hips up. Now, it's not real high. You're not tight through the top of the quads. You just are taking the weight in the feet, and the shifting across the shoulders is where your weight will go. So your arms are relaxed. You're engaged in that glute position. Just consider your hips to be level, and then a nice angle up to your knees, and then straight down to your feet is where that alignment is. So once you're level, we would assume your weight is equal on both of those feet. You want to then maintain this position from your hip bones to your shoulders, and we're going to extend your left leg. So your back leg here is going to extend. Now, as soon as you do that, if you drop in that hip, reposition and envision those hip bones being level when maybe you're holding a plate across your waistband. Yeah, that's your right glute saying, wow, I'm holding on the weight. Let's switch. You should push your foot down and nothing happens at your hips. I just push weight into the left and now that right leg extends. So this is really fine tuning, but so, so good to make note of our compensations. Hips are level. When you bend that leg, it should just go back to where you started and really no drop in the hips. So sometimes I'll put my fingers right in the hip bone, extend. That left leg extends and I'm feeling shaky here because there's some probably weakness. Oh my goodness. And that's a slow movement or the holding. That's not easy. Bend and switch. Wow. That's why sometimes I slow this down, because if we move with momentum, you don't have time to feel that. Switch one more time and hold it. Now you've got that left leg lifted, right leg's engaged. You're going to take that left heel, drop, pull the knee in, straighten it out and drop it to the floor, pull that knee in and drop. So that heel on that left comes up and higher than your right, and you pull it in toward your body. You should be feeling your back doing this as well, your ab engaged, and that knee is kind of parallel. So when you lift it up, bend that leg so the shin of your left leg stays parallel to the floor, down and out, up and in, down and out. Move with that control. Go 10, touch the floor. 9, yes, that right glute is on fire. Your stabilized leg is holding you. Hips are up. 5, 4, 3, nice. 2, this is a great combination to throw an ab work in as we rest, roll it down, pull those knees into the chest. Oh, that right side should be nice and warmed up. Chin goes to the chest, hands go behind your head, legs are long, so our modified bow pose, and then we do the bicycle. Let's shake it out, as I say. Shaking it out just means you're being distracted by doing something else. So elbow to the knee is the first level. If you can get there, they should be touching. If you can get past, crossing over to touch the outside of that knee, that's even better. Once again, leverage plays the key in this. If you've got long limbs, you carry your weight in your legs, if you have a really short torso, that's going to be mechanically harder to get there. So if you are pretty mechanically advantaged by being equal lengths or proportionate, this is easier. Go 10 and 9, 8. I really believe having a strong core protects that back. So we're going to do one more exercise from this called the superset. 4 and 3 and cross it over. Last 1, feet together, come into the bridge. Now you're relaxing your abs while the glutes work. Relax. Take a deep inhale here. Chest and shoulder relaxes. Glutes on that bottom are working right here. Okay, you're up nice and high. Make sure your weight is evenly distributed against both of your feet. You're gonna take those hips, tap your glutes down, don't worry about your back, up and squeeze. So hips go flat down, squeeze up. This is all about your glutes. Tap the floor, squeeze it up. You're exhaling to the top. Inhale as you lower, upper body's relaxed, work is happening between your ribs and the top of your thighs. Drop, squeeze. You are really squeezing that up at the top. Only you can do that. It's not really a visual. You have to just imagine yourself doing it and feel that backside tight as it can be up at the very top. Relax to the bottom. Go 10 and 9. And you're going to start to feel that waistband, because it's working right close to those glutes, is going to start feeling like it's working. And sometimes you'll say, oh, I feel this in my low back. That would be good as long as it doesn't hurt. 2 more like this. Bring those knees into the chest. As soon as you stretch, you get that low back, that waistband area, that relief. That should feel really, really good. We do one more set of abs before we load the other leg. This time, legs are gonna go up to the ceiling. So now we're dual work here. Hamstring stretching, glutes are gonna be kind of relaxed, abs are gonna be on fire. Hands together up in front. You're going to roll and get those fingertips up towards your ankles. Here's momentum. I swing those arms to get there. If you need that big swing from over your head to get there, no problem, take it. If you have more strength or less distance to cover, by all means, keep those palms together and just lift. Exhale as you get to that top, range of motion, rib to the hip, tiny little movement. Squeeze those legs, make it look pretty, point those toes, exhale. So much of all of that is making your quads engage so the rotation happens right at that hip. Yes, get that contraction there and you're breathing. 10, 9, yes, 8. Do what you can do on that. Remember, it's breath work. Don't worry about the numbers. If you're getting shaky and your form starts to falter on those last few, that is progress. If you're getting done with all of these and it's easy, then I need to challenge you harder. In 3 and 2. I know my counting is off. And last one. Relax. This time, feet knees together. Push up into that bridge. Whew. Relax. Take a moment to inhale and let your upper body just kind of decompress from that work. Knees together, feet together. That's going to be a little more inside of the thighs on this bridge. If there's any strain, widen your feet back out. There's nothing wrong with that. Feel what's working here. Focus on it. Relax that upper body. Inhale through that nose. Get that weight across the shoulders. Stay engaged. This time it's your left leg that's going to take the weight. Your right leg extends straight out. Okay, so hips are level. So take note of that. Sometimes those fingertips on the hip bone, that really is magic. Hold it. We've already done the alternating. Now it's the right leg's turn to move as the left leg is engaged. So you tap that heel to the floor, knee to the hip, heel to the floor. It's straight. Pull that knee in and bend it. Out straight. Oh, think about your back. Think about your rib to your hip. Keeping that stable. Glute is holding on that left side. And the range of the motion is working everything on that right. Nice. Move with control. Coordinate the breathing. You got this. Push and pull. If you're thinking push away, pull it in. In a perfect world, if we were in a true studio form, I may give you a rubber band that we'd actually push against, and then you push against on the knee. So if I had the position of the band, you'd be pushing and pulling, really engages. So kind of pretend that you have that. I'm pushing my heel against the rubber band, that I'm pulling my knee toward my chest against the band. That is going to add some resistance, but right now, this body weight is enough. 3 and 2. And bring it in, roll those hips down, pull those knees into the chest. Whew. That same little fire should be up in that left side. So it's only fair that we should shake this out as well. This time, when we shake it out, you're gonna bring that chin to the chest, keep your knees bent. Let's do the butterfly. So elbows to the knees, legs go out, elbows go out. Bring it in, exhale out. So you've got a little bit of a reverse tilt and curl, press. Same thing if those legs are the problem for you or you feel your back compensating for the weight of your legs, keep them bent. There's nothing wrong from going from the floor to the knees. You want it bigger, scoop it up, stretch it up, full on V-sit. Bring it up, stretch it back, bring it up. Give me what you can do. Nice, exhale to the top. Inhale as you stretch and lower. Exhale, reach. In, breathe, 10, 9, good. We're gonna hold that last one, so give me these reps. Get your breathing coordinated. And 5, and 2, and last one. Relax, relax, relax. Let's drop those knees toward the front, toward the right side. Open up that left arm. Let that twisted spine just be relaxed here. No tension into it. Relax your upper body, your head, neck, and shoulder, and then we extend that top leg. Reach that left leg across your body. If you can grab it with your right hand, great. And then you're just adding a little bit more of that tension onto that stretch. You may not need it. The weight of that leg may be enough. Square your chest up to the ceiling. That left hand is palm down on the floor, and you're looking toward that left hand. You think of your spine that has a nice, gentle twist. When you go to transition out of this, you want to do that gently as well. Bring those knees together, come back to the center. Let's take those feet down here and just come up into a gentle bridge. This time you're going to push up into stretching. So I'm almost going to get my hips up as high as I can to get my hands underneath them. And that should feel good. As if I'm stretching the front of my body, maybe you have to walk your feet out wider to get there. And if I can prop up my weight on my hand, that feels really good. I almost let my weight kind of sit into my palms so my legs aren't holding all of it, and it just gives me that sense of traction. So if you can get to that position, that should feel good. And I shift my weight right and left. And then you roll down gracefully, gently, roll through each vertebrae. Pull those knees back into the chest, and then you kind of rock side to side. That's almost giving your back a little bit of massage, because think of the motion that you just went through, putting pressure in those places. And then we go the other way. Drop those legs to the left, open up this right hand, look towards your right hand, extend that right leg across the body, and only if you need a little tug to help some stretching back there, feel free to do that. Just the point of tension, not pain. In through the nose, you breathe. Exhale and you relax. And then that transition again, knees stack, come together. Let's bring ourselves all the way over onto our hands and knees. And now right back into that cat and cow stretch. So you're gonna find your position, get a good square stance with your heels of your hands in front of those knees, your toes are in line with those knees. Let's really arch it up here. So we were doing this with a wide leg stance. Now we're doing it in our normal sense. Exhale into that cow, that sway back. See how much range you have, even if you kind of bring that head up and look up. Good, chin to the chest, tuck it under, round it up, arching cat. And if you push a shoulder forward in that position, you'll just lengthen from the back side. You exhale, let that arch, and then bring that head back to that upright position. Very nice. One more time, tuck that chin to the chest, arching cat. Big inhale. Exhale, go right into that cow. And then find your neutral, and we're going to thread the needle. Right arm is going to go underneath. Set your weight back into child's pose and feel that stretch coming up out of that right side. Big, long stretch. That left arm is reaching forward, right arm is underneath you, and you're looking through to your right hand. If you can set your head down, great. Good, twist in that upper back, outer shoulder, and then weights us back on those heels, stretching your low back. Let's inhale, switch. We come up, right arm goes forward, thread the needle, look toward that left side, get that head relaxed, and then reach that arm through, weight back on your heels. Feeling your body just getting heavy here, allowing those muscles to react to that stretching. And then let's bring it back forward. Hands come back forward, turn those toes under, come up, downward dog, stretch it back. Getting a little bit deeper into this downward dog. That should feel really good. Back should feel pretty agile here, moving fluidly. You're going to inhale, look forward, bring the left leg forward, back into that low lunge, and reach that left hand up to that ceiling. Feel that nice twisted lunge right here. And if you can sit deeper, you drop into that. Then you get that front stretch on that quad. That hand comes back and around. Straddling that foot, press back, straighten that leg back. Modified split stance. That should feel really nice. Let that left heel reach, taking your weight, and then that right heel is reaching to the floor. You're going to inhale, bend. Exhale, left leg goes back. Hips go back up, downward dog. Press through. Chest to the floor, tailbone to the ceiling. Nice long straight back, and then heel reach to the floor. Big inhale here. We look forward, bring the right leg forward this time. Low lunge into that. So you're going to start finding like, wow, I can step here a little bit more gracefully. I'm warmed up, I'm stretched. Let's bring that right hand stretch out up to the ceiling. Sit low into that hip, stretching your left quad, the right glute. We inhale, we straddle that foot. Exhale, split stance right there. Press that left heel down into the floor. Press your right leg straight. And then you realize like, wow, my back was tight. Now I've stretched that out. My hamstrings feel a little bit looser, or I'm able to do this a little bit deeper. Inhale, bend that right leg. Exhale, send it back into the plank. Hips go up, downward dog, press back. Nice, coming up and out of this as well. Let's pedal with speed again. Get a little bit deeper into this. Take one more big deep breath here. Look toward your hands. Left leg steps forward. Big reach, twist, open into that twisted lunge. Inhale, straddle that leg. Exhale, straighten it back, split stance. So you're into that modified split here, gaining some length. We're pulling both hands off of the floor this time. You're going to bend that left leg into lunge, low lunge, and come up into high lunge. So here's where the little challenge of the balance kind of late in the game. Reach to the ceiling and feel that length down that right quad. Inhale, arms go forward over that left leg. Exhale, swing those arms back. Interlace those fingers if you can. Bring that chin to the chest and stretch it up and over. Laying the chest on the thighs going to give you some balance. So is the placement of that back leg. Stretch of those shoulders. Modify to take that knee down, and this is fine, keeping your legs down, arms down. All the way up. And we release, hands to the floor. Bend that left leg, kick it back into plank. One more time, hips go high, downward dog. Stretch. Big deep inhale, big exhale there. Next inhale, we look, step the right leg forward, big low lunge, rotate into that arm, looking up to where that ceiling. Really feel that deep stretch. We inhale, straddle that right leg. Exhale, straighten that right leg. Pressing it back, long, straight, split stance. Not too much tension in your hands. Let that be about your legs. Here you inhale, you bend. There's low lunge. We exhale, come up, high lunge with that right leg forward. Beautiful, reach. Arms positions are going to give you balance. So out here is a little bit more challenging. Up here is going to give you some centering, but it's a little more narrow. So you choose. This might be actually easier for you. This might be easier. You reach forward, chest over that thigh, arms go back as you exhale, interlace. And then bring those arms up. If you can look down, back at your left foot, that's giving you that kickstand balance. Or you drop that left knee, whatever you choose here. We inhale, release those hands. Exhale, right leg goes back into that plank, hold the plank. And this one, a little add, you're going to reach left arm, right foot, right arm, left foot. So you reach left arm, right foot, left hand, other side. I said left, right foot, right hand, left foot. Alternate those lifts. So you reach, just lift it straight forward. Pretend your mat has walls, arm to the front, foot to the back. Arm to the front, foot to the back. 10, 9, 8. There is some challenge here, mental and physical. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Oh my goodness, take those knees down. Sit back in child pose. Oh. Sometimes we just get on a roll and I keep pushing and pushing, like, oh, we've got this, let's push that. But you are also strengthening your wrists. So if that gets to be a point where that just feels fatigue, anytime, get off of that, roll through them, give them a little massage, take your weight off. I should feel like they're getting stronger, but you don't want to overtax those too. If you're doing a lot of work with the computer, or maybe you're doing something more fun, like working outside with your hands, doing something different, that would be great too. But muscles that you haven't used, they fatigue a little bit quicker as they're getting stronger. So take note of that. All righty, let's come to our seated position. Let's bring those legs around us into that little crossed place. So here's where you're going to line yourself up. You're in that center of your mat. Envision your sit bones right around that center of your mat, and then you're lining your spine all the way up through the base of the neck, through the crown of the head. So perfect posture would be a nice straight back, shoulders are back. You may want to use those knees once again as you realize that leverages me. If I push into my knees, I can push my chest forward, and then I've got that fully lengthened, as tall as I can be spine right here. Take a big inhale. You feel that if I've got really great posture, I can draw more air in. I've got more space to create. Inhale through that nose. That's a really good way to get centered. Slow your breathing down. And then you exhale. You feel like you're just exhaling, like you are letting air out of a balloon, deflating right there. That's fine to move that good posture. Your shoulders go back. You inhale, you lift it up as if you're drawing air in, filling up that entire cavity. Long, deep inhales, and then you exhale. Just let that body slouch, and your abs actually draw in, and they get tight around your spine. You inhale, bring it up. Shoulders go back. Stay up nice and tall this time, and let's roll that right ear to the right shoulder, left ear to the left shoulder. Look over that right shoulder, and you get a little bit of twist in that spine. And here, your hands on your knees. I can push with my right hand, pull with my left hand, and then the other direction. Push, look over as I'm pulling on the other side. Inhale, come to the center, fold it over those legs, stretch that body, walk those hands. Let that low back stretch now out to the outer part of your glutes, your glute medius, down to the back, hamstring IT band. A lot of twisting and rotation today, which is really good, but sometimes you'll feel that different than maybe usual. Maybe it's up in your upper back and shoulders or low around your waistline. That's okay. Take note of working muscles versus hurting them. So there's a fine line between there. Let's reach out right hand across off of that left corner of your mat. Keep your sit bone down, and then rotate your chest over that thigh and maybe look back over that left shoulder. Nice twist there. You inhale, we slide it back to the middle. Can you exhale and go a little bit lower in that forward stretch? Dropping your head, letting that be heavy. And then let's walk that left hand off of that corner of the mat, looking back over that right shoulder. And we inhale, come back, and you be a little bit heavier, a little bit more relaxed down that front. Maybe you get your elbows down, palms on the floor, your whole entire forearm touching in front of you. And then we slowly just set that spine back up to that nice, perfect posture. Your hands are going to drop right back into your knees. And then we're going to take this right hand behind you. Look and lift that left arm as you rotate here. So now you're just seated, twisting. Good. Again, upper shoulder, outer back side of your upper back. And I bend that back arm to get a little bit depth. And then we switch. Left hand sweeps around, right arm up and over. Look back at that left hand. We inhale, come forward. Again, if you have no issues with your knees, and you can bring your body weight over the top of those legs, get back to here. Walk your legs back behind you. Turn those toes back under. Let's go back up into that downward dog so you stretch. Now we're at that last kind of final downward dog, walking those feet closer together. Press your heels together, and then take that bony landmark from the tops of your toes across your feet to your heels. Ankles are pushing together. Where are your knees? Are they pressed together? Are they bent or straight? Right up to your hips. Are they as high as they can be? Do you have a little arch in that back as it goes right towards your back? Breathe into that. Take a big, deep inhale, pressing your chest, your ribcage toward the floor. Shoulder blades kind of come together in the middle. Forehead is toward the floor. And then your elbows angle right to your wrists, which are taking the weight into your hand. Let's take an inhale. Let's look forward. Step this left leg forward. Step the right leg forward. Look at that forward fold. A lot closer and more flexible than when we started. And relax right here. Can you just grab those biceps and let your body hang? Take one more big deep inhale right here. Release those arms. Maybe you've got a little bit more length right here. And same thing, your head is long and relaxed. Let's slide those hands right into your shins. Now you have a long, straight back side. You're pulling your abs in just to give that back some support. And your back is parallel to the floor, to the ceiling. So you're making a nice flat back here, tabletop with your back. And we're going to continue to bring those hands up above your thighs, on your knees, above your knees. Bend those knees. Press away back in those heels. And then pull your shoulder blades back. And you're going to stand. Let's roll it all the way up right here. Let's roll those shoulder blades back. And gently just rotate right here. Oh, you should feel like you've gained some length in your spine. Maybe you feel a little bit taller today. Roll those shoulder blades back. And let's take one more big deep inhale all the way up. Last big deep inhale, bringing all that positive, good energy. Palms come together right to your heart center. Close your eyes. Good intentions for the rest of the night, rest of the week. And we say namaste. Thank you so very much tonight. Thank you. Good job, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening. And we will see you next week. Thank you. How do you feel?